Okay, so this is a silver Zen player in placements. Your team comp, as far as I see, not that great. The Mei here, like, I'm not a fan of Mei, like, first point. I mean, depends. If you're a good Mei player, you can actually pull it off, but it needs like a lot of um, team communication and effort, because like the Mei has to wall off like the first target who walks past the choke, and if you have to focus them. And I don't think in silver or like low gold that the Mei players consistently do that, and just because of that you like a damage slot. Like for me, Mei is a DPS slot. Yeah, what healing, like in terms of healing, it's just you and Brick. That's just not enough, because you have to heal Reinhardt and Diva. Like maybe someone switches, like because this is like the very first start. I hope someone switches. Hanzo is good. So I would like to see Diva going Zarya, Brick going Mercy, and yeah, May can actually stay if she wants. I don't really care, but it would be optimal if this would be its scan, and then you would have a pretty good comp. All right, let's see how this goes.
Isn't my key working? But it's not saying frightening. Why isn't my spray?
Okay, first mistake like I'm seeing, because like King's Row is very famous for this like sniper window here. Like most of the time there's like like not most of the time, but there's a possibility that there's a Hanzo here or a Widow here, and they try to get like the first pick. So the way you position yourself like on this like first defense point here is like way too aggressive, because like what can you do? You try to charge the right click here, but if you miss it, or like if it doesn't connect, and if someone stays here, like a Widow for example, they have free sideline on you. And what can you do about it? If you walk to the right side, that shit is not gonna help you, because they look over that shit. They still have sidelines. If you go left, there is nothing. There's like still like there is not really cover on the left side, because like the Widow can decide to grapple up this like there's a little platform here. She just grapples up, and then she has like very good sideline on the right on your left side. So the perfect positioning on this point, first point here, would be here. If you stay here, you have like you can freely disengage to the left, to the back if they come here. Like if the enemy team tries to engage you. And what is good about this point here is when you charge your right click here, you can strafe to the left side, peek around the corner for like 1 second and release your shot here. And then after you release your shot, you immediately like go back to your corner, and then you're safe. Because the time frame for a Widow, if you do that, left release right, left release right, is very tight. She just has like this little window here where you are exposed, and she has to hit the headshot like immediately. And that's very like, especially like in silver, I don't think that happens, because you still, when you release the right click here, you still do a little bit of tracking, and you only stand still for 0.5 seconds when you release the right click to gain the maximum accuracy. as soon as you release your shot, you start strafing again. Or like in this case, you're not strafing per se, but you move to the right side. And yeah, another thing is like, I don't know if you do it, let's see. Alright, that was a good right click, but you could have followed up with Discord. Like, the combo for like a medium range right click, or like a right click when you have like the possibility to discard someone, is right click into release into Discord. Right? Because the projectiles have they need time to connect. And in this time you can spam your Discord button so that the last 2 or 3 projectiles get the extra bonus damage from your Discord. And that further increases your charge because you do more damage. Or if the projectiles are not headshots, increases the damage to a point where squishies die. So always try to do that.
You're bad.
Yeah, see, like your positioning is way too aggressive. You're standing here like spamming them, but like where's your cover? Like your Reinhardt is here. If they come here and try to engage, you're basically dead. Because when they come here and engage, you don't have any more time to react to that. Because Zen is like is a slow moving character without mobility. So if they press W, you're dead. Because you don't have cover. Because you don't have time to move there. Because if you move to the left side, you expose yourself to them. And then you get the damage in, and that maybe leads to a death.
Break the shield, break the shield. Brigette's discorded. Shield's low.
Yes, see, like you're playing like a DPS, like in a DPS position, and that's not optimal for Zen. Like your projectiles have no damage fall off. That's super important. Because like for other characters, like a McCree for example, or like the Mei Icicle, right? Your Mei, they have damage fall off. So they have to think about the perfect distance to the target to increase their DPS. But you as Zen don't need to do that. Because if you can stay further in the backline. So because okay, imagine now they just engage and they go in. What do? You have no mobility. They don't even need to invest mobility resources to get to you because you're already doing the job for them. Right? You're actually doing them a favor by staying in a position where they can easily reach you. Right? Like the Reinhardt walks up, then those 2 Reinhardts have a fight. The shield is gone. Someone will pick you. Like you have no protection at all at this point. And if you die as Zen, you put your team at a massive disadvantage. And it is perfectly possible that if that happens, if you die here, that you lose the team fight.
Kill Brigatte.
Yeah, like okay. Let's see your harmony, like your orb management. Let's see that.
Brigette's discorded.
Your Mei used wall. You're calling
Show's
out
low.
the discords. That's very good. You always have to do that, Sam. Also, like I also like to like orb the Reinhardt like when no one's like damaged. That's a good play because he's about to get damaged because he's the main tank. He takes like the majority of your team's damage. But in this case, you see that your Mei took like a hit. So what you would want to do is to do like a little flick onto the Mei and spam your shift so that she gets immediately orbed and that you prevent like the damage breakpoint from the next hit. Like, how do you say it? To like give the extra health so that she doesn't, so that she can't get one shot, right? So like the time to flick and press shift is actually important in a sense that you prevent like a certain damage breakpoint or like death breakpoint. So yeah, try to work on like whenever you see like the critical health bar that you instantly flick on the target and shift.
Cobra Gut.
See, like, yeah, why did she die? Yeah, because of a body shot or a headshot. If it is a headshot, you could not have prevented it. But if it was a body shot, if you would have flicked and orbed your Mei, she could have survived it. Granted, her positioning was bad though, because she was playing here, and your Reinhardt is shielding like this space here. So the better placement for the Mei would actually be here, or like here. So she could spam this way here, because the Reinhardt is obviously going right side here. And as soon as the Reinhardt walks in, she walls. And then you attack the Reinhardt, and then he's dead. And then they have to regroup again.
Bro, why can't I hit her?
Okay, you see that your Reinhardt shield is about to break. So, like in 1 or 2 seconds, or like in 3 seconds, your Reinhardt will definitely drop the shield. He got a fire strike on the brick, but the brick got rest. So they have a full man team. They will engage, especially if the shield is broken, because there's like the voice line, shield broke or shield destroyed, and they hear that, and then they engage, and their shield is topped off, so they have the advantage in the fight.
Genji discorded.
Okay, so yeah, see, you took a fuckload of damage because you're not playing in cover. Like, the line of sight from the enemy team to you is free because your Reinhardt's barrier got destroyed. Like, this is something you have to preemptively think about, right? So what you should have done here, as soon as you see that the barrier is like about to break, go back. There's the statue here. You go around the statue and play around the statue for cover, right? So like, how do I say it? You have to adapt on the fly what cover you use, because like solely relying on Reinhardt's shield is very risky for Zen. Like Zen hardly, no, Zen obviously relies on cover because you don't have mobility. So always search or like always have in mind where you can use cover.
Discorded.
Yeah, so the Tracer blinks in. Good kill on the Tracer.
Kill the Mercy, kill the Mercy. Maze on me, maze on me.
Good call. Good call that you call out the target when you get pressured. That's like mandatory for Zens. Because your team needs to know when you get pressured in the backline that someone can react and help you. Because if no one helps you, like I mean, you can win 1v1s as Zen, but it's still very risky, because if you die, they get a massive advantage. Like, if the Mei, like, imagine if you trade, right? The Mei kills you, but you get like 2 headshots and she dies as well. What happens is that the team still pushes in, because you are out of the fight for like 15 seconds. And the Mei is out of the fight for like 7 seconds. Because their spawn is right here. She just respawns, walks out, and she's back. Or what actually should have happened is you both die. Like, imagine if you both die, they push in, your team falls back onto the point, and the Mercy reses. The Mercy reses the Mei. And then it's a 6v5. And a 6v5, there's like a 70% chance that the team with the 6 players actually wins the team fight. So this is like super risky. So as Zen, even if you can have the capacity to 1v1 like certain heroes, always like let your team know that you get pressured and that you get backup and resources.
Someone's going for this.
Yeah, see, like this is actually a 2v1, but the Genji's not looking at you, and I think he's one as no, he's half. So if he turns around and they focus you, you're dead. Yeah. I mean, you got the Genji, but they may kill you. But it seems like your team did work as well, so you should hold this. Like, I think you would.
They're staircase.
Okay, no, they may kill too. So this is very hard to hold now.
Kind of back out. Play a little bit passive. You guys don't have heals really.
I have my ult. I'll get back.
You could trance now. What? Like, your Hanzo got like a few picks, right? He got the Zarya, and like 10 seconds ago he got like two other people. So they're not a 6-man team. And right now the Mei is going for the kill on the Hanzo, and someone's low here, and you have your trance. Like, what you should do now is pop trance. Go a little bit in the middle to heal this one up, and immediately position yourself before the Hanzo to prevent the Mei headshot. That's actually like a good tip to know. Like, as then if the Mei is freezing someone, just like 80 strafe before the frozen target, so that the Mei can't headshot him. Because you're invincible.
Come on. Shatter.
Okay, it's good that you tranced here. I would have done the same. You don't have Harmony uptime. Where's your warp of Harmony?
Shatter.
The Mei ults as soon as your trance runs out. Your Reinhardt shatters. So that's a good play from him, because he counters the follow-up damage to the Mei Blizzard. But right now there's no Discord and no Harmony. But you're about to Discord someone. But you forget your Harmony. Like, Discord is nice and stuff. Like, they're both good orbs. But in my opinion, the healing orb has the priority. Healing orb is priority number 1. Discord is priority number 2. So always make sure that the uptime for priority number 1 is around 100% in a perfect world, right? Of course, sometimes you lose line of sights, it gets resetted, and you have to apply it again to another target, or like change a line of sight that the target who lost it, that you reapply it or refresh the cooldown, because you know that the orbs, as soon as you attach the orbs here and you lose line of sight, for example, the orbs stays on the target for 3 seconds. Like, that's like a thing with Zen. Like, imagine if you would go to a hotel, like Harmony Reinhardt, Discord someone, go to hotel, charge, right click, go outside, release. What that does is you play with cover here, you have the mini here, which actually like improves your health pool. Like if you take damage, you just take the mini, and it plays. You can, with the mini you can play like a 275 HP Zenyatta, and that's absolutely insane. Like, using health packs as Zen makes you straight out busted. So yeah, what was my point? You play around cover, you play around the health pack, and you refresh your cooldowns on your orbs. Because as soon as you release the right click, you go back to cover again. And you don't lose your orb value. So always think about that. So right here, you orb someone, you're about to release the right click, then you discord, but you forget about the orb. Like in this case, I think Hanzo can escape. No, Hanzo does not, can't escape. But Hanzo is not the focus of the damage right now. You see, like all they're attacking is Reinhardt. So he takes a fuck ton of damage. So you need to flick to him and apply your Orb of Harmony immediately. Like, especially, I don't know where your main heal is right now, but you're a support. You need to make sure that everybody like gets the maximum value of your orb.
You froze me.
Oh yeah, okay, the Hanzo got one shot. Like, there's nothing you can do. But you could have saved the Reinhardt because his health pool is way bigger. But I think this is a lost team fight anyway. Unlucky.
Kill the Mei.
Yeah, you have to reset now. See, like, you're playing straight up in the middle here. You're not even thinking about using cover like corners as cover. You're just straight up in a line of sight of a Mei, who can, if she lands 2 headshots on you, you're dead. Like, no, if she lands a headshot right now, you're dead. Like, the amount of risk you take is insane. Like, because imagine if you get picked now by the Mei, your team lost the off support. So they can't engage. They have to back off if you get picked. And they can't push, and for that reason, they can push the card through the choke. Because this choke right here is very powerful. So, like, as soon as you lose the point here, you as a team want to reset around here. And as soon as the payload reaches this this choke here, you want to hard engage. Because when you hard engage in this choke, like, the amount of pressure on card the enemy team receives is insane. Because like they can't really use space. They can't really use movement here. So damage in this area connects. So I mean, you know, like chokes in Overwatch are just like a hell to get through. But they, if you get picked right now, they don't have to deal with that. I mean, I saw the defense matrix from D.Va to prevent it, but you shouldn't even play here. You play here around the corner.
Zarya's discorded. Zarya's half.
Zarya is not half. Zarya is full. So that's like that's like a thing, like the wrong call outs that I mean, yeah, sometimes you can get confused, but like if you discord someone, try to get in the habit, if you don't see the health pack like very clear, to like have a quick look at the health, and then according to that make your call out, because giving false call outs can lead to wrong decision making for your teammates, and that's very bad.
Push from Earl here.
Okay, so you see your Reinhardt is like setting up to hold right here. That's actually very good. I would not have expect like a silver player to do this. So I think he has Earth Shatter. I don't know it for sure, because get in the habit of pressing tab more, because you as Zen need to know what the ult charges of your enemy team are. Like especially you can, there's like a point, your teammates are a point of reference ult wise, because if you see that your Reinhardt has his Shatter and there's an enemy Reinhardt on the enemy team, there's a high probability that he has Shatter as well, if he like didn't use it to secure the point. So especially as Zen, your ability to track ults and anticipate ults is very important, because like even more so if you have trends, you anticipate and track the ults and position yourself in a way that you don't get hit by the ult. And if you have trends, you counter the ult then, because you go in with trends, because you don't get like the Earth Shatter stun, or like you don't get graphed immediately if they run Zarya. So that's actually a skill you need to improve on, or you need to develop. Okay, so right here you see that you saw that your Reinhardt was hiding here, so he for sure is about to go in at some point. So what you should have done is apply your orb on Reinhardt, like exclusively, because he will take a lot of damage, because right now he's fighting on card alone. Your brick is here, your D.Va is throwing the bomb, I don't see your DPS, and you're like standing here like spamming the choke. So yeah, let's see if you orb it.
Kill the Reinhardt, kill the Reinhardt.
Nice. See, that was good.
Kill the Mei, kill the Mei.
Okay, like what are you doing right now? See, I mean, you got 2 picks. You should go aggressive. But this pick right here got revived. Like, that is not a pick anymore. That the Mercy rest. So you have 1 pick. You killed the Lucio. But that doesn't mean that you as Zen have to be on frontline here. You could still play a little bit further in the back and still do the same, because as long as you see someone in the back who's standing here, you're perfectly fine. You can still apply your damage, and if they back off, you see if they back off, because then your Reinhardt will move further up to their spawn, and then you can go in, because then it's safe. And right now it's not safe. So always make sure that you play in the most safe position as Zen. See, like, you're frontlining right here. If the Mei freezes you like through the Reinhardt shield here, and or if the Rein pins you or fire strikes you, you're basically dead. Even though you're like a 300 HP Zen right now. Like, I get it, you got the picks, but that does not mean that you have to take the risk of dying right here.
Get the Rein. Get the Rein. Get the Rein.
Yeah, nah, dude, this is just too risky. Like,
Get the Rein. Get the Rein. Get the Rein.
like right here, what the Ryan could have done is to charge you into the payload. Like, he knows that he's about to die, but if he can take you with him, it's actually good for them because the spawn is right here, and they have to walk like 10 meters, and then they're back again, and you don't have a mercy. So if you die, your team has 5 people for like 15 seconds, and then they engage, and then they have immediately the advantage. So yeah, as I said, you could have played a little bit more in the back and still do the same. Like, you don't have to move up to the Reinhardt to kill him because there's Genji here, there's someone here. Like, the risk you take is just way too high. Because if they would have hit their shots, you would be dead right now. Because Zen is a priority target.
Lucio. Okay, back out. I'm almost at Transcendence.
Alright, that's a good call.
I've got Resetter again.
Yeah, you're not spamming your Discord. Like, I don't really like Discord on E, because for me, like, I like to AD strafe while I Discord, and that's not really possible if you have it on if you have Discord on E, because then you can't then you can't strafe like in a good way. So my Discord is on mouse 4 and mouse wheel down, and my Orb of Harmony is on mouse wheel up and E, because you don't really need to switch the Orb of Harmony that often. Like, you don't need to spam your Harmony Orb, but your Discord Orb, dude, like, the reason that the thing is with Discord is when you're playing around the corner, right? And the enemy does that as well, right? Let's imagine there's an enemy right here, and if he shows himself like for 1 second, if you spam your Discord, the Discord immediately gets applied. And remember what I said, you always want to maximize your orb management, your orb uptime. You always want to have an orb, a Discord orb on someone and a Harmony orb on someone all the time, because those 2 orbs help you to build your ult, and your ult is like one of the best ults in the game.
I'm gonna go up to the line.
Yeah, good orb.
I'm gonna have Transcendence this fight.
Okay, this dragon was not needed. Like, you Hanzo threw your ult for no reason, but whatever.
Get Genji.
Mercy res.
Okay, good Transcendence.
May hotel.
I mean, I don't know if there was like follow-up damage. Okay, so the Mei is shooting. There's someone here, but your Rhine is blocking. So it, like in this case, it actually would have been possible to not trans. But I mean, transing a graph like trading a transfer graph to just secure the survivability of your teammates is good enough. Like to judge the incoming damage from the enemy team during a graph is very hard. That's like very advanced stuff, because during a graph, like there is so much that can happen damage wise to your team that it's safer to trans, even though there's not really much damage coming in. But there's always the probability that, like, what if someone's high ground and drops like something, or like what if like someone's behind, right? Like you don't want to take the risk, because when you're stacked up in a graph, like your whole team takes a lot of guaranteed damage. So that is actually fine with me.
May hotel, my hotel.
What you should have done, should have said is not only that May is in hotel, you have to call out that the May is in hotel alone, and that she used ice block. Because right now she has no option to save herself other than like wall herself, like to the wall, to make her like untargetable when she's in the wall. But right now you're playing like 1v1 against the May melee range. So if you don't hit your shots right now and she freezes you, you're dead.
Hey, no ice block.
Oh, see, like, yeah, she played that very well with the wall.
Ice wall on cooldown.
Lucio half nice.
Get the May. Backside of statue.
Okay, nice follow up on the main.
Alright, back out. Let's back out to Arch.
Good call that you back out.
Get the Zarya. No personal bubble.
Again, good call on the bubbles. It's always good to call out used abilities as then. Like I always do that. Like, I mean, not on like some abilities that are like redundant, but like Zarya bubbles or like the May ice block or May wall. You call that out. That's very good.
Right on the left, right on.
Nice shit. Nice block, bro. Get the mercy.
Like you're playing like, again, like you're positioning, you're a brawling Zen. That's not optimal. Like you could stay like at the choke back here, because you still have line of sights here. You still have line of sights to the spawn if they come in here. The only thing you don't have is like the vision here, but if you move like a little bit to the right, you're still like in the back, like behind the payload. You can use the payload as cover as well. Then this choke right here, I mean, they're obviously playing right here right now, and still be in a safe position. But because right now you're playing here, so if you're focusing a mercy, for example, here, you don't see what's going on behind you, because they will come out of spawn and you don't see it, and they see you immediately because you're the first thing you see when they walk out of spawn. So they will put their damage into you, and as soon as they do that, you don't really have time to react, because you're so far forward positioning wise that you can't escape, and then you die. Yeah, see, exactly. The Zarya spawned, and the first thing she does is attack you. I mean, your Reinhardt here popped off, but I think some of you will still die because of the May Blizzard. And if like 2 or 3 of you die, they will win the team fight, because the 3 dead people here will respawn, and your 3 dead people, or your people who will die like in a few seconds, you need a lot of time to reset.
I'm dead.
Right low, right. Man on me. Raise it, right slow.
Okay, it seems like your Doomfist is popping off and your Reinhardt is popping off. Like if they didn't pop off, you would have lost it. You would have lost it instantly.
Yerzen's walking back in.
Come out again.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the Doomfist is a Smurf, I don't know.
Brigade, are you still with the team, or are you coming back from spawn?
Nah, I'm still team.
Alright.
I have ult too. Back up, back up.
Me, Hanzo, and Reiner on our way back in.
Should just use res.
Back out, Diva. Roadhog.
Okay, so you saw the shot from Widow, right? So they have Widow now. I hope you change now, you adapt your positioning because of that. Because if you play like you did before, here in line of sight, like right in the middle, you just get picked by the Widow. So I hope you recognize that they switched their team comp and that you use hard cover more. And that you're, because the moment, if you only play around your Reinhardt shield, the moment the Reinhardt drops his shield, you get, the Widow gets line of sights, and there's a possibility that you die because of that. And if you die now, because like of a lucky pick from the Widow, because the Reinhardt drops his shield, you lose your Transcendence, because you almost have your Transcendence. And you need your Transcendence in the next fight.
Stay alive, I'm ulting to get back. I'm so disrupted.
I have Transcendence again. Widow has no mine.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Widow has no mine. That is a callout which is like irrelevant, because who cares about the Widow mine? Like, that's not a strong ability. Like, what you should have called out is the Rotor Cook. Because a Rotor Cook is like it's kind of like a stun. Like, if the Reinhardt has Shatter, and he goes for the Shatter, and the Rotok lands a good hook, he can cancel the Shatter. And then the Reinhardt wasted Shatter and gets killed because he gets hooked into the enemy team.
Genji.
Yeah, like, you should, like, not only should you say Genji, you should say Genji discorded, no deflect. And preferably his health status. Like, the right callout would be Genji Discord. No deflect. Like, try to get in the habit of using a pattern. Like, hero name, Discord, used abilities, positioning or location. Let's use the term location. What? Location and health. Oh god, health status. Because what this pattern does is to provide the maximum information possible in the shortest time possible. Because, like, Overwatch is a game where there's so much going on, and like so much going on in a fast way that you don't really have the luxury of wasting time to explain the information. So, like, using this pattern gives everyone in your team the right information to make plays. So try to use that.
Get the Roadhog.
I'm down on the
Get the Mercy. Get the Mercy.
Big kill by your diva.
Mercy used Res.
Yeah, no, that was a wasted trance. Why was that a wasted trance? I think you know that. Because you used your trance when you were up 3. I mean, granted, they rest the Reinhardt, but it was not a good rest because two of the team were already down, the Roadhog and the Lucio. So basically, the Mercy did a suicide rest. After the suicide rest, she dies, of course, and now the Reinhardt is feeding your team ult charge, which is perfectly good for you and bad for the enemy team. So mistakes, like the Mercy did a major mistake, but your Transcendence here, like the value the enemy team gets from you using your Transcendence at this point is insane. Because now if they engage now with their ults, you don't have a defensive ult. So there's nothing you as a team could do to counter their offensive ults other than killing the hero. So that's actually huge that you missed that you wasted your trance here.
Get the Roadhog. I mean Roadhog Reinhardt. My bad.
Widow? Do they have a Widow?
They have a Widow. They have a Widow.
Okay, so you're saying they have a Widow and you still push up into the line of sight. That's crazy. I would not be surprised if you get picked now. See, like you're backing off now because you got pressured from like the Lucio projectiles. But imagine if the Lucio was a Widow. You could have been dead easily. And that would have gave the enemy team like a free push. Because like not even like this one push, even the next push. Because if you're dead, you can't build your ult. So you will have your ult. You will not have your ult like in the not even in the second fight. So by stacking by making this play of showing yourself just to get like a few shots in or like a right click in, the risk you take is just too high. So as Sen, you want to balance your risk versus reward, right? Your reward, of course, is the ult charge. Your risk is obviously your death. So you have to balance like how worthy is like you're at 5% full charge right now. How worthy is it to get the 5% up to like let's say 13%? How worthy is that if you die in the process? Because what happens if you die? What does the enemy team gets? What does the enemy team gets if you die? They get a 6v5. They prevent you from building up your ult charge for 15 seconds. And oh, you still don't have a main healer, my bad. I thought you would have switched to a main healer. Like right now, they eliminated the main source of healing in your team, which as then is not much, but still more than Brigade heals. So if they would have picked you here, they could have gone in for free, basically. Because there's no healing. They run Mercy Lucio rig. There's no way unless you have two like kind of one-shot or like high impact characters DPS wise, unless they don't get picks instantly from a one-shot, there's no way you will outlast this comp. Because Widow is playing in the back. She's like having a battle with the Hanzo. Like this should be like the Widow's priority and your Hanzo's priority to get like the sniper out of the way. So this is like a matchup not dependent on health because it's a one-shot headshot matchup. But this against like this against this, because your Hanzo does not really play too far in the back, he can still like switch targets during fight, but then if he does that, the Widow's free, right? Unless like your Reinhardt is really like aware of the Widow and shields his way, like is shielding in a way that the Widow doesn't get picks, because like the Widow needs, like the Widow has needs a time to charge, right? Her shots, and if the Reinhardt sees that the Widow shot his barrier, he can actually drop his barrier because he knows that the threat of the Widow is gone for like 1.5 seconds. So I mean, I'm not really sure how well he does his shield management at silver, but the more you go higher, like players start to think about this more. So yeah, what was my point? Yeah, you playing in a risky position is just not worth it to further charge your transcendence right here.
Hey, Brigette, come over here and let's rally up. Let's rally up. Brig. Get Lucio.
Okay, so they used beat. That means they will engage no hard. So you need to press S immediately, because Lucio will probably speed, so that the enemy team is coming in insanely fast, and you need to search for cover, otherwise you're dead.
Let's go.
Can you back up a little bit? Thank you.
Like, see, like the enemy team is making the mistake that they're not pushing in with beat. They got beat. They didn't went in though. So you push them instead with your rally counter roll, and they kind of get scared, I think. So as far as I see it, you apply more pressure to them, and you will probably win.
Get Brigette.
Okay, so the enemy Genji is ulting right now.
Right.
See, like, who did you discard like all this time? You discarded the Mercy. You have your orb on Brigitte. That's fine. That's okay. But right now, like, look at where the Mercy is, right? The Mercy is like in the back. Like, there's no way she gets like damage in. She backed off. So you discard the brick right now. This is a good play, but I think you should have done it way earlier, because like helping your stationary targets in a fight when they're already in a fight with your discard is more valuable.
Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Reinhardt. Genji half. Genji low. By hotel.
Oh, nice ult.
Genji very low.
Oh, Genji got me.
Back out a little bit. You can give him a little bit of space. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Come back.
That's a good call. It's actually true.
Back up this.
I'm gonna have Transcendence this fight. Get brig.
But you're still frontlining. You're frontlining again. You have a major problem with your positioning. Like you're playing Zen way too aggressively. Like you're in front of your Reinhardt. Why, dude? It's overtime. You need to win one fight. And you expose yourself again. And I think they didn't switch the Widow. So the Widow, if she's somewhere around here, there is no cover for you. The Reinhardt is on right side. Right? There are no corners. There are no objects. You are free. Because if you see the Widow here, you maybe think, oh shit, I need to move. But you're so slow and you're already not full HP that you will probably die just because of your positioning. And imagine if, like, as I said, like the risk you take with 93% when you have to win one team fight is just too high. Like, you have to manage that better, like your positioning and your risk taking.
Brig's low. I have Transcendence. I had to pop it, or I was gonna die.
Yeah, it was a good Transcendence though, but if you pop your Transcendence offensively, you have to let your team know that it's time to push in now.
Slow.
But, like,
I have Transcendence. I had to pop.
You pop your Transcendence right here, and now you have to motivate your team to rush on card because they're invincible for 5 seconds. Right? And their Reinhardt is using like Earth Shatter just to prevent your team from pushing them. He's actually making a good play by delaying you with his Earth Shatter to decrease the tension you create.
Or I was gonna die.
Yeah, see, he got 2. So those 2 can provide damage. He has to shield himself for no reason, actually, because he's still in a Transcendence. So he could actually build his ult, unless he has his ult, but I don't know. You have to press tab a little bit more. You have to be aware of the ult charge of your team.
Get the brig.
Benji on us, Benji on.
Hanzo.
Benji dead.
Yeah, what the Reinhardt, like what I'm noticing here, the Reinhardt, instead of shielding himself in the Transcendence.
Benji on us, Benji on.
Like, your D.Va got shattered, but D.Va's a tank. So D.Va can't get one shot because she's still in the Transcendence. But there's a squishy here, and they run Hanzo. So, like, your Reinhardt is making the mistake to not shield the Hanzo from the one shot. Because you as Zen can't save teammates from burst damage. So, like, how many seconds do you get? Yeah, 2. So, because your Reinhardt doesn't shield your squishy, if you would have had like 3 seconds Transcendence, let's say, there you could have positioned yourself on top of your squishy to prevent the burst damage. So just so you block the line of sight to the head from the Hanzo, but like only for like 1.5 seconds, because the last bit of your Transcendence, like 1.5 seconds on your Transcendence, like the last 1.5 seconds, you just you have to use that just for movement, because where you end your Transcendence is actually very crucial, because you have because you're invincible, you have actually the option to reposition yourself in a good way. So you need to do that. Like, the last second of your Transcendence, you don't have to care about the value of the healing aura. You have to care about your positioning. And you're positioning yourself right in the fight. Like, it's basically melee range. So you will get some damage in, and there's a probability that you die because of that. Like, you could have positioned yourself a little bit further in the back and still provide the same value. Like, Zen is not a melee character. Like, not a melee range character. You have no damage fall off, and you have like a sniper right click, right? So there's actually no point in you fighting brawling on point. You don't contest the point as Zen, especially when your tanks are alive, because you're a squishy. You have no mobility. You have no choice. But like your tanks have, if the Reinhardt can contest point because he has survivability. He's a tank. He has high HP and he has a 2k shield. D.Va can contest it because she has boosters and defense matrix. Like, let your tanks do their job, and do your job by enabling them with your orbs, your harmony orb here, and your discord orb, and your damage you put in from the back. That's what you should do as Zen.
Get the brig.
Benji honest, Benji on.
Hanzo.
Benji dead.
Get the Lucio. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, very nice. Using every ult he had on me.
Okay, let's see your attack. I can't believe that you like held it so good with like a Zen and a brick heal. So that means like their DPS is not doing their job. Because like if they would have had more damage incoming, there's no chance you would have survived this. Because your healing output is insanely low. There's just basically nothing. And you have like 2 tanks. Like, okay, we can say Doomfist is self-sustained if he like rocket punches like around and takes health packs. Junkrat can kind of disengage with his mine, but like he is still dependent on health. So like there's like he's dependent on health, she's dependent on health. You actually as well. Because Zen, I mean, he has a 150 HP shield, but it only recharges if you don't take damage, and you're playing Zen like too brawly, so that's actually not happening. So yeah, their DPS is basically not contributing enough.
Alright, let's get it.
Yeah, shit.
Oh my god, so low! Junkrat so low! Junkrat right side, so low!
Good call.
Damn, he got healed up. I got an entire volley on him too.
Yeah, that's like a unnecessary comms. Like, I mean, it's fine that you tell your team that you almost got the kill, but don't try to like clutter the, or is that even a word? Like to spam voice chat for like kind of unnecessary comms. Because like for me, I'm a player who needs to concentrate a lot, and like comms like this would distract me.
Reinhardt low.
Nice.
Break shields.
Very good orb here. You saw that the D.Va got like... Wait, why did the D.Va fell down?
Break shields.
Oh, she got slapped. Yeah. So she got like stunned, and you orbed her. That's very good.
My shield
Break shield.
Yeah, right now, yeah, your Reinhardt needs help. Like
Let's
your
break shields.
Reinhardt. You see that your Reinhardt is like standing in front, as he should. But the problem is, like, he is taking all the spam damage, so his barrier is about to break. And the barrier's not really there for like to take spam damage. The barrier's there to move your team through the choke. Like to get through the choke and to win like the fights, the actual team fights. So if the Reinhardt continues to take all the spam damage, you need to wait until he recharges again to then actually walk through the choke. So I don't think you can walk through the choke right now because you
break shields, break shields. Kill
you
Brigade.
don't have shield. But you got the pick. Your Doomfist got the pick. See, yeah, like you're lacking healing so much. Like the reason you don't have a main healer is huge right now. If you would have had the main healer right now, this push would be easy peasy. That's just
back out a little
issues,
bit. Tanks back out.
I mean, nothing you can do.
No, we're good. We got one. We're up on.
I have transcendence. I have transcendence.
Gonna ride.
Oh. Diva. I'm asleep. Reinhardt, can I have some help?
Yeah, that's always a good call out. If you get slapped or like hard stunned, like or earth-shattered, you need to call for help because US Zen are like one of the most valuable heroes. So you're not allowed to die like this. And your team has to protect you. But I think in silver there's not enough coordination to make that happen. But it's still good that you call it out.
Baby Diva by car.
Okay, nice headshot.
Reinhardt.
I think your mechanics are better than most silver players. But the reason you're in silver, like from what I see, is just your positioning is it feels like you're not playing support. Like you're not playing Zen as a support. You're playing Zen as a DPS, but the problem is when you do that, your aim has to match that. And like there's not always scenarios where you can pull the DPS Zenyatta off. Because as I said, sometimes the risk you take is just not worth it. So if you would, I think if you work on your positioning, if you get the right positioning down to provide maximum value with your orbs and your ult, there's no way you stay in silver. Like if you get that right, you will easily climb to at least like high plat, low diamond.
Reinhardt archers. Get on 3. Get on point. Ooh.
Yeah, you could have ulted there because like when I hear the tire, like this tire was huge because he got your Junkrats and you with your trans. So I mean, wait, when did the last picks happen? Yeah, I mean, okay, there's no one there. So actually,
Get on 3.
actually that ult was like that he threw his ult because there's, unless he gets like a 4k or a 5k, there's no way he can get the point.
Get on point.
Because right now it's only Junkrat on top. Yeah,
That's
he's
okay,
trying
that's
to
okay, y'all
contest
got
the
this,
point,
y'all
but
got
there's no way.
They're gonna stagger.
You're
gonna stagger.
There's no way.
Get on point, please, so I don't get bad respawn.
Yeah, so actually,
Ooh, I
it
got
was
bad
a
respawn, rip.
it was a good decision to save your ult.
It's all good. Let them blow them ults. Let them blow their ults. We have spawn advantage.
I have Earthshatter now.
I have transcendence still.
Yeah,
Break
good
shield.
ult,
Break
good
shield.
ult.
Break shield.
I'm ult again, let's go.
Break shield.
Yeah, also the call to break shield is also good.
Nice.
Very nice pick.
Genji.
There is
Ana.
someone
Get the
behind
Ana.
you, right? Who was that?
Nice.
Oh, it's just Baby Diva. Yeah,
Nice.
don't care about that.
Genji. Ana. Get the Ana. 3 on cart, please.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Nice.
Kill the Genji, kill the Genji. He can't do nothing to you.
Okay, but what you forgot though. Let's see this again.
Cart, please.
Yeah, right. As soon as Genji pops his blade,
Yeah.
I mean, at first you saw the dash, but I mean that's very fast. But I also go from like the sound cue. But
Throw on cart, please.
as soon as a Genji pops his blade, you immediately discord him, and then you use Transcendence, because the discord stays on the target even if you're in Transcendence. So you give your team a easier time to kill the Genji, the blading Genji in your trance, just to get the kill faster, so the rest of the team can actually push further up to secure more kills, rather than only the Genji right here.
Please.
Because like here someone is fighting this fight here, and you're saving these teammates. So if you would have discorded him, he probably would have been dead by now, like in 1 or 2 seconds, and then you can move with your Transcendence and support your other player. So always try to get your discord off, especially when someone's ulting.
He can't do nothing to you.
And you're trancing, that you reduce the time to kill the target.
Genji's low. Genji's low.
Okay, right. Like you missed your Orb of Harmony because you're like too focused on getting the kill. Like you have to micromanage your orbs better. I mean, I get that Genji is 1 and you want to secure the kill, but right here your Doomfist is half. Or like, yeah, you see critical.
Genji's low. Genji's low.
So
Low.
you release your orbs, do a little flick, press shift, and then you try to secure the kill, because like he's already. Wait. All right, no. Hold up.
Genji's low. Genji's low.
Okay, this last shot was fine. Shot. Okay, but as soon as you cross the corner, then you orb. Okay, no. I'm sorry. This is more important than this one. I changed my mind. Securing the kill here is good, because Doomfist is a character with high mobility. He can rocket punch here, or he can E here and be safe, and you can secure the kill. So that's actually fine. But as soon as he is like out of your sightlines, you orb him.
Damn, I couldn't finish him off.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good.
Genji's still low.
You did that very good.
Break shield. Break shield. Junkrat, nice.
Okay, you know why you got killed here, right? You just pushed too far up.
Nice.
Like, where are your other teammates? Like, oh, did you got booped? Wait, what the fuck was that?
Junkrat, nice.
There's someone behind you, right? So a threat who is behind has priority, because enemy heroes who are behind are usually alone. So if you 180 now and try to secure the lonely flanker behind, you further increase your win condition. Like, also the problem with that is like, if you don't take care of the one in the back line, the front line, you have more heroes in the front line right now, so you get pressured from this side and from the back. So if you would have, after the Junkrat kill here, you kill the Junkrat, you stay here in the corner, because you still have line of sight here then, and you can look at the back, because you see here the D.Va defense matrix, and I think someone even calls it out that someone's behind. So by staying here in the corner, you have hard cover, you have the option to damage someone in front, and you can like engage on the person who's behind.
Junkrat, nice.
Of course he focuses me.
Yeah, like try to get in the habit of, in this case here, like to do as long as you charge and don't see an immediate target, just do like 2 180 flicks. Like 180 flick, what the fuck is behind? And if it's not worth it to like release the orb on the enemy who's behind, or like if you see, okay, the enemy behind is still low and there's like a teammate who's already fighting her, and the fight here is more like important to win, then you still have the option to like 180 flick again and push up. But you didn't 180 flick to check your surrounding. So you actually have no idea what's going on in the back. So just try to get in the habit to move quicker around and to get as much information as possible.
Nice.
Of course he
Yeah, Silas was like a diva behind,
focuses.
and she was full. So you could have like adapted your play by staying here, recognizing that a diva is behind you, and actually call it out, and maybe just walk to the health pack.
Junkrat, nice.
Because you're low here as well. Like you took the Junkrat mine, right? Yeah, you took the Junkrat mine to the face. So yeah, the problem is you don't have a main healer, so you can't rely on healing from your other support because the brick is like brawling somewhere. So yeah, like reviewing like this situation with this comp is not so easy, because like you have to adapt to your composition. Like you know that you didn't have a main healer all the time, but you still like went in way too aggressive, and you take like Junkrat mines to the face when you know that there's no one who can heal it up other than like the brick E, but still.
Junkrat, nice.
Of course he focuses me.
But I mean, you still have 4 minutes to secure like.
Look, we got 3 minutes. It's
6
right on there.
meters.
Even if we don't win this fight, it's not lost.
Exactly.
Just throw your bodies at that. Nice. Winnable, winnable, winnable.
It's winnable.
Y'all got this. Y'all got this.
Get the baby. Get the baby.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that the
Let's get in there.
legit
Diva, back out a little bit.
player, but
Oh, you're out of that. Oh no, you aren't. Wow. Focus Diva. Focus Diva. Oh no, I'm so dead. Reinhardt, you god.
Yeah, it's a good
Junkrat,
spot,
Junkrat,
but
Junkrat, Junkrat. Diva. Focus Diva. Focus Diva.
We got plenty of time, guys. It's alright.
What's that, Ryan? Ryan charge?
Good-
Come on,
good
come on.
game,
Y'all got
good
this.
game,
Y'all got
good
this.
game.
Y'all got
Nice.
this. Focus Reinhardt, Reinhardt, Reinhardt.
Yeah, you win this easy peasy.
Kill the Ana, kill the Ana. Right side of cart. Kill the Genji, kill the Genji.
But still, like, why like,
Genji.
like, just watch your positioning.
Nice, guys.
Why are you trying to like fight on point? Like,
Tracer.
like the Genji is here. He is blading. If he gets lucky, he gets you because you're not far away. Because you're just so close.
Tracer, Tracer behind.
I mean, sure, like there's no way they can take the point back, but still, like,
No recall, no recall.
there's no reason that you still like be in
GG's.
a risky position. All right, so like in summary, I don't think you're a solo player. Like, as long as you like get a better positioning, I think you're like at least mid to high plat. And if you reach that, like your play will change as well, because you will get punished a lot more. And if you adapt your positioning then, after you like mid to high plat, like after like, I don't know, 20-30 hours, you could be diamond actually. Because you're doing a lot of right things. The only major flaw is like your positioning and sometimes your orb management. And yeah, sometimes you whiff a trance or two, but I think most of the time your trances were okay. So yeah, I think working on your positioning and also like ult anticipation, like when the enemy team is trying to engage, or like what ults they're going to use, I think then yeah, you should easily climb. Alright, so I hope this helped, and yeah, good luck for your next games.